What's going on, everyone? Justin here with Trading Cards and More, back with another video. Today we got a little different video. I've been buying vintage cards recently. This is going to be a PSA submission I'm sending off. PSA just ran a special for February. $15 a card to grade anything from, I believe, 1989 and prior. So we got mostly baseball. We got a couple basketball cards in here as well. 29 cards, I believe. Or sorry, 35 cards. I've got a cheat sheet over here, but I've got doubles on some of these, so 35 cards, all vintage. Pretty excited about these. This video I'm going to kind of show the cards and give my grade guesses, and then once these come back in a couple months or whatever, we'll do the reveal, and then we can see how accurate we were with the grades. So make sure to leave a like if you guys are in here. Joel, what's going on? So first card, we're starting with like the oldest to the newest. So the first card is a Hank Aaron 1956 Topps. This was kind of like just right place, right time. This got put up on eBay. Got listed for, well, we won't even, let's not even talk about the price. When these come back from grading, I'll kind of add in what I paid for the card. I don't think that really matters for this video, but just a freaking killer of a card, man. I'm so stoked to get this card. Looks practically pack fresh. The edges do have the cut where it's kind of like, not the greatest cut, but that, from what I've heard from graders, that they like to see that, at least with SGC. So, I mean, the corners, everything looks really good. The image, I looked the card over pretty well. It looks pretty darn good. The back is a little off cut. The name at the top, you can see it's almost cut off, but not quite. And there's a tiny little dot right there. Something. But other than that, this card is freaking nice. I was so stoked to win this card. So my guess on the grade, I guess you could say, it is off-centered, but it almost pretty much looks near mint to me. But I think the centering will kind of kick it off. I don't know if they're going to give it a OC grade or they just give it a straight grade. But I'm going to guess the grade on this is a 6. If not, like a 7 OC, maybe. If they give it an OC grade, I don't know. It's hard to say on this one because it's such an old card. I've never graded any. I think I graded maybe 156 Topps before, so super nice card. I mean, couldn't be more excited about that one. All right, second card, I have a 58 Topps Ernie Banks. This one also looked very nice. Not as good as the Hank Aaron there, but really nice looking card. When I did look it over, I did see the tiniest little bit of a wrinkle right in that corner. It's just very faint. Probably can't even pick it up on the camera. So that could definitely knock it down. I was thinking possibly a 6 on this one, but upon further inspection, and the fact that it has that just the tiniest little wrinkle, I'm going to give it a grade of a 5. It's going to be my guess on this one. Just a really nice looking card. I don't have a 58 Banks in my collection, so this one will probably go in, pending the grade. I mean, I can't imagine they're going to really knock it down super tough with that just barely issue there. Joel, do you worry about buying trimmed vintage? Not really, I guess. I mean, it's a risk, but I mean, you got to learn one way or the other. So it's, it can happen. I mean, I've had cards come back. They said they were trimmed, but I also had a card they said was trimmed. It was a 69 Banks, and I sent it off to SJC, and I got a 7.5. So one grader said it was trimmed, PSA, and then the next grader said it wasn't, basically. So you just never know. But usually if it's pretty noticeable, I don't even bid on it. All right. This one is pretty decent looking until you see the big crease that it does have. And you can see it from the back as well. Couldn't really catch that 100% from the scans, but they did list this around the very good. And then it's got another like kind of like crease right there. So I don't have high hopes on this one. It's just more or less, the image itself looks pretty good. Pretty white edges. It's in the excellent range. Excellent to excellent mint range without the crease. So I'm thinking that's going to knock it down to probably like a 3. I've seen cards with good creases on them get 4s, but obviously with the vintage stuff, it knocks it down. I think worst to the worst, it'll get a 2, but I think it just looks too nice to get a 2. So I'm gonna put it at a 3. That's just my guess. This is kind of a, just a card I want to send in just to see how it does. See how they grade it. That's the only way you can really learn. All right, next we got a 1960 Willie Mays. Nice card. This one's got good eye appeal. Pretty good centering. A little bit off, but not bad. Corners are not looking amazing, but they're not looking horrible either. So I think because it looks pretty darn good, I was thinking around the 5 range on this one. So nice looking card. I mean, it's possible it gets a 4, but I think it just looks really nice. So I'm gonna guess a 5, and then maybe it gets a 4, but I'm gonna say 5 on this one is my guess. Stelios, what's going on? Looked into Kurt's card care kit and was able to fix a bunch of cards for grading. I'm not into the whole fixing a card. I mean, once it's tampered with, they can definitely, if they see that, they won't even grade it because it's been messed with. But I mean, do you? But I just like the cards as they are. All right, we got a 60 tops Willie McCovey rookie card. I've owned this one in a 6. This one I just picked up for a decent price. This one has the slightest little crease mark right there, or wrinkle. Other than that, a really nice looking card. I think it would probably get a 5 if it didn't have that didn't have the wrinkle there. So I think because of that, I'm gonna put this at a 4. I mean, it's possible it gets a 5, but I think 4 is more than likely. But nice looking card. Doesn't have all the print defects on the front. So yeah, they are definitely tough on vintage. I mean, I buy tons of vintage, graded, ungraded. I mean, I can pretty much. I realize, I'm putting everything that I've basically learned over the years into account as far as what I think this stuff's going to grade at, but you never know. This one has a really good clean image. It's just really off-centered cut. It's actually miscut. If you look on the back, you can see part of the top's ball is cut off, like right up to the edge of his name. And then you can see part of the next card on here. So you would put this in the miscut category. So it should get the miscut grade on there. Qualifier. And with that, this card is close to near mint, but probably EX mint. I don't know. It's tough to call. I'm gonna give it like a 6 miscut on this one. Obviously, if the centering's gonna knock it down big time if they don't give it the qualifier. But a pretty good clean image on that card. That's what kind of drew me to the eye appeal of the card. And I snagged that one up pretty quickly after it was put up for sale, so. All right, next we got, appreciate that, Joel. This Hank Aaron, this was another one that I, was really stoked to pick up. Thing looks pretty mint. Really, really sharp corners and everything on this card. Now it does have like little print defects on the card. Those little spots on it. Mostly like on his shirt. There's a few within the image. I think that can definitely, knock the grade down on these cards. But you can see slightly a little bit of white border right here. So this would get an OC grade, I think. I've seen this in a 9 OC grade. I think this one's not quite as good just because of the print defects. So I'm guessing a 8 OC on this one is what I hope it gets, but I can't imagine it could get less than a 7 OC, even with the slight print defects. It's just too clean on the corners, and the thing looks pack fresh. I mean, we'll see what happens. Another look at the back there. Let me know if the quality's coming in good, guys, too. Robert, what's going on? Better looking than what I got. Yeah, I mean, I buy a lot of stuff to collect it. I buy it to resell it, too, so. I picked this up on Whatnot, surprisingly enough. There's some vintage sellers on there. It's really hard to get anything good. I've never really even heard of this guy. I'm not a huge, when it comes to the older stuff, I don't have a ton of knowledge, so it's. But we got Mini Minosa, 62 tops card. And this I just got like a pretty good price on it. I'd say the worst is that bottom left corner. But other than that, it's pretty darn nice. A little off-centered left to right. It's got a little spot on the back. I was thinking this had a shot at a 6, but because it does have that spot and it does have that one corner that you kind of draw to, it could get a 5. So I'm going to write 5 down. We're hoping it gets a 6, but I could get a 5. You just never know. I think the surface looks pretty good. So there we go with that one. Next, we got a Hall of Famer, Billy Williams, second year Gold Cup card, 62 tops. This one looked pretty good as well. Looks like a 5, and then you notice it has just the tiniest wrinkle in that corner right there. Other than that, definitely an EX card. So I thought that might knock it down to a 4, but it's hard to say on this one. It is off-centered, there's some wear around the corners. Pretty typical with these. They show a lot of wear with the brown borders. But it's not bad. I mean, it looks pretty good overall. So my guess is going to be a 4 on that just because of that slight wrinkle, with the possibility of a 5. All right. Next, we got one for my Willie McCovey. I've been putting the set together of Topps Willie McCovey cards. You can see I had the rookie card in there. I got probably half of them now. This is the 66 Topps. Nice looking card. This one just had really good eye appeal. I'm sorry, this is a 64 Topps. What am I talking about? 66. A little bit of wear on the corners on the back. With that orange back, it definitely shows up pretty good. But I think it's definitely better than an EX. But not quite as good for a near mint. So I'm going to guess a 6 on that one. Nice looking card. Willie McCovey. Next, we got 66 Topps. We got Pete Rose. He needs no introduction. Should be in the Hall of Fame, but he's not. This one, you can see part of the next card there. And then you could see the borders cut off at the top. Maybe a little bit of border there, but I mean it's definitely miscut. So definitely should get a qualifier on this one. The card itself is in probably EX to mint condition, but it does have this wrinkle. Just a slight wrinkle right there. That can definitely knock it down. So initially I thought this was like a 6 miscut, but I mean that could knock it down to what, a 4 or 5. So I'm gonna guess 5 miscut on this one. And then, but wait, there's more. We got another one. Now this seller said this had evidence of trimming. I couldn't see it. The only thing I was thinking was this left edge. I put it up to the other one, and they pretty much matched up perfectly, so I don't know. To me, it looks good, but who am I to judge? I just want to see if it'll pass through and see what happens. Because it's definitely near mint. Pretty much near mint card here. If it gets the grade, It's off-centered, left to right. But it's a good image. There's no nice clean colors on it. So, oops. So that's that. Yeah, you can see the color difference on the two. One's pretty faded and the other one is not. Of course, they use different cardstocks too, to where the colors on the back look different a lot of times. So next we got a 1967 Willie Mays. I've gotten a couple of these. This one's off-centered. Pretty good left to right. It's got like a scratch on the face, a couple scratches there. Soft corners. Not super bad, but it's on the border of an EX, but I think just, if you can give a 4.5, this would probably be it, but I'm gonna say 4 on the conservative, 5 on the best case scenario on this one. It's on the border, so it might hit the 5, who knows. Then we got another, I've got this one for really cheap. This was a 67 Banks. Off-centered, left to right once again. Not quite as bad on the corners on this one. So this one just looks better other than the centering. Back is clean. A little bit of fade on the corner. I don't know. I got such a good deal on this one. I was thinking 5 on this one. More so than the Maze. It just looks like it has less wear. Cleaner image. But that's my guess on that one. And we got not 1 but 2 67 Hank Aaron's. I like this card. It's a cool card. First one's got a little bit of typical corner wear. Left to right off-centered. Back looks pretty good. Corners aren't perfect, but this is right at that, like, same kind of, almost a 5, but probably not quite. So, I think on this one, I was going to say a 4 on this one. And then probably more so a 5 on this one because it's just a little sharper. Same off-centering, just opposite direction on the left to right, as you can see. But yeah, just has a better look to it than the last one. So, really nice card. It does have like the print defect right there. So, which isn't on the other one, but overall, a pretty nice looking card. So, 5 on that one. Next, we have the 71 Ernie Banks. I got 3 of these 71 Ernie Banks. Really hard with the black borders on this card. You can get like a card that's literally like near mint out of the pack fresh, and it gets like a 7 with like no issues with the corners, just the chipping on the edges a lot of times, which you can see on this card. Some wear around the corners there, especially the lower left. But still a nice EX card. I think this one, I'm going to guess a 5 on this one. It's on the border on these ones. I mean, like this one has a little touch on that corner, touch there, edging, touch on that corner, off-centered. So, I mean, probably go conservative on this one and say a 5 as well, but I mean, there's a chance these could get a 6. And then this one's probably the best of them all. Same issues with the centering, but the corners are better on this card. Still got some chipping and stuff like that, but you can see less whitening and damage on the corners. Same back with, you know, being off-centered on it. I don't know, nice looking card. We're gonna say 2 5s and a 6 is my guess. All right, next we got the Roberto Clemente. 73 tops. This one, it's got good centering on it. Corners are not the best. Edging can have issues on this card. I think there was a few scratches on the front. Still a good looking card, but I would probably rate this as an EX5. Off-centered left to right. Sorry, I thought I had my other phone on silent, but apparently I did not. Alright, next we got another Clemente. This one's left to right off-centered, but has sharper edges and corners. Maybe not the greatest on the bottom edge, but still pretty good. Cleaner back. I mean, this is on the border of being a 7, but just because of the centering and everything, it's probably going to get a 6, so kind of going conservative, saying 6 on this one, 5 on the first one. I mean, there's a chance it gets a 7, but not holding my breath on that one. Now the Hank Aaron, I think, yeah, it's about the same. About the same on the centering. Pretty sharp, though. Pretty nice card. I'd love to get a 7 on this one, but once again, it's on the border. I don't think any of these had any surface major issues, if I recall. Hmm. 73 tops, Aaron. Definitely should get a 6. Possibility of getting a 7. But we're going to go conservative and say a 6. Question mark 7. That would be sick to get a 7 on that. We got some Mays. I've got 6 of these. Or sorry, we got 8 of these. I've been buying a lot of these ones. I've owned this in like a 6. I've owned it in an 8. These come up for sale quite often. This one has a bad chip on the back, so it's kind of the only major flaw on this one, but they're all around that 5 to 6 range. This one's pretty off-centered. Sometimes there's like some print defects on it. Like the image looks different color on the image. Maybe some stuff going on there. But all, you know, pretty clean EX cards. Definitely hoping a couple of these get 6s. Probably no 7s in here though. 7 is a tough grade. An 8 is extremely tough. So yeah, just, you know, A little bit of wear, not horrible, but not, you know, definitely not near mint quality, but could see some 6s once we get towards the end here. Like this one looks pretty good, but it's a little top to bottom off centered, and the cut on the top is a little bit frayed. Cool card. He's in the Mets jersey. You can see there. He was a Giant for a lot of years. And then his last year, I guess he just played for the Mets in '72. Not sure exactly when he retired, but this is his last card. And kind of weird seeing him in the Mets jersey there. That's a pretty clean looking card. Just, you know, the cuts on it aren't the greatest. Another good one there. Definitely should be a couple 6s in here because I can't see any of these getting worse than a 5. Some print defects on this one too. So it's hard to predict which are going to get which, but I'm going to say 5 and 6 on those ones. All right, we got Eddie Murray. Rookie card, 78 tops. This one just looked too sharp to pass it up. It's off-center, left to right. You can see the top left border and the top border are thinner. But the edges are really, really good. The corners are really, really good. There's a few like little print defects on it. I think that'll definitely knock it down. And then the back of the card just looks oh so crispy. So almost good enough to get an 8, but I think just because of the centering and the print defects, it'll get a 7. But still a nice card. Eddie Murray rookie card. Gold Cup. Hall of Famer. Next we got 2 Kareem 79 tops. This was his first hook shot card. Pretty nice card. I got this in a 9. And I only got one of them. And I've graded quite a few. I grade 7s a lot. And 8s. I think these are probably both near mint to mint. I mean, barely any of, wear. This one's got some more fraying on it than the other one. Colors are good. There's no big print defects, and they got good centering. So good old Kareem. So yeah, we'll see what happens with those. This one I bought because I thought I had a chance at a 9. These 81 tops are tough, but if you can find them with like pretty good centering, there's definitely a shot there. Carson, what's going on, Carson? Definitely kind of has some fraying of the card. It's just how they cut it, but just a clean card. No damage really as far as corner wear, edge wear, print defects, anything like that. That's just how the card comes out of the pack. See that surface? That's how a lot of these 81s are that I've dealt with. Yeah, nice looking card. Hoping for a 9 on this one, but I think worst case is it gets an 8. But I'm gonna put 9 down because I'm really hoping for a 9. And then our last card is a Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer for the Bulls. Couple little print defects on the edge there. The reason I bought this, I thought, maybe I had a shot at a 9. I've gotten 8s on this before. I don't know if I've ever graded a 9. The borders, with the gray borders, you can see, like, typical of these cards. Slightly off left to right. And then every card that was made has his name spelled wrong on the back. Pippin instead of En. That was an error that they never fixed. But clean looking back as well. I'd say it's a nice card. Really hoping to get in this one's sharp corners and everything. Few print defects. I don't think I had any surface issues other than that. So we're gonna hope for a 9. Probably worst case it gets an 8, but and then when I do the reveal on these, I'll try to put the prices I paid for everything so I can kind of add that in there, and then if you guys want to go in and look up comps on the card and see how I did. Obviously you're not going to make money on every card. You know, you're going to have a few losses, but you're going to, you know, a couple of home runs really pay for orders like this, so hopefully there's 1 or 2 in there. Definitely like some of these cards. Favorite is this Hank Aaron 56 tops. The other thing you're probably going to wonder, yes, they do have a $199 limit, $199. So I evaluated these at no more than $199 each. If something gets graded and it's worth significantly more, they're probably going to do an upcharge, and that's fine with me. But instead of paying a higher fee, sending it a different service level, and then they get the card and then they say like, oh, it's trimmed or something stupid, I'm still going to get charged the fee. So I'd rather just get charged the $15 fee, and then if they want to upcharge. That's the better route to go in my opinion, but everybody's kind of does things their own way. But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Probably get these cards back in a few months. We'll see how it goes. I think vintage can go maybe a little bit slower than, you know, the ultra modern stuff or the TCG. So thanks for watching. Have a good week, and we'll see you in the next one.